Hello, everyone, and welcome to We Are Our Own Enemy. And today we will be discussing Chicago South Suburban Dolton Mayor and Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard. And also, we will be discussing Miss Regina Waldroup and this documentary she made about Miss Henyard. It's about 51 minutes long. I'm sure most of you guys have seen it already. And it's just a bunch of junk, a bunch of the same junk we've been seeing for the past few years, guys. And today we'll be discussing it. I am a Chicago and Dolton resident. I've been a Dolton resident for over 30 years. And I do have a lot to say about what's going on with a lot of the media and a lot of social media attention that we've been getting. A lot of it due to Ms. Henyard. She's definitely the most famous mayor we've had thus far in Illinois. And not only that, guys, they said she's the worst mayor in America. I doubt that highly, due to the fact we have so many other mayors that done worse things that she's accused of doing. Not only that, she has not been proven to have done anything, guys. Not guilty of anything as of yet. And I think a lot of us need to take that into consideration instead of bashing this black woman. You don't see any other races doing this to their politicians, especially if they have not been prosecuted in any way. And even the ones that have been prosecuted is not being treated in this manner. And just the fact that our people is allowing this from the media and also contributing to it is a shame, and it's very shameful. And we'll be discussing that and many other topics as well. As some of these interviews Miss Regina has done on this video is very disgusting to me, due to the fact she could have interviewed so many other residents, seeing as how she's been in Dolton and Thornton Township meetings for the past few years. And the only people she was able to interview was maybe 3 or 4 residents that's literally been at every Thornton Township meeting for the past few years, just as well as she. And they basically don't like Miss Henyard at all. They're basically followers and supporters of Miss Belcher and House as well. Let's get it going, guys. I'm not going to talk much. This is a new channel, and I'm going to show you guys much different, and I'm going to give you guys some real interviews from the real residents of Dolton, Illinois.
So if you could just give us an amount, I think that would help with our discussion and making a decision.
We don't have a problem with giving you an amount, but this is why sometimes people have to follow the leader. Because sometimes the leader is the visionary. It is what
Quiet.
it is. The leader is the visionary. Sometimes people can't see down the top. So sometimes this is why people follow people. So I'm just throwing that out there because everybody got an opinion. You just said, I can't see.
Thank you, man.
How
Just
it
give us
would look.
that.
So all I do is just try to tell you what the vision would possibly be.
Not the typical way an elected official, especially a mayor, would run a meeting, but this is the way the government is run by Tiffany Henyard. I've been a reporter for more than 15 years. But for the past year, I focused a lot of my attention on the small community of Dolton. Dolton, Illinois is located about 20 miles outside of the heart of Chicago. Population, according to the last census, about 22,000. 90% of the people who live there are African American. So even before covering Dolton as a reporter, I knew a lot about this community because I grew up in the nearby community, the community of Harvey. So when I think about Dolton, I think about Harvey and growing up there. And I think about my parents and what brought them to the south suburbs. It was opportunity.
Pause. Right here, guys. She's speaking about her family and how she grew up in the neighboring town of Harvey, which is nothing like the Dolton at all. Harvey is very downhill compared to Dolton. Dolton right now is on a downhill for the past 5-6 years, maybe, before Ms. Henyard even got in office. But Harvey has been at the bottom of the barrel for the past 30 years or so. It is like an extension of Chicago. It's nothing like Dolton. But this woman here, it is neighboring. And for her to be a neighboring town over, she should know better and be able to speak to more residents than she has in this video. She came and put 2 or 3, maybe 4 residents on here that, like I said, is at every meeting. She basically came like she's an out-of-towner. You know, she just basically found the people she's seeing on TV and social media and gathered them up and just put them in her video and just gave us the same old crap all over again. But she could actually talk to many residents. She's from the area, and she has a lot of things going on in her closet, skeletons in her closet as well, guys. For her to be talking about this black woman that looks like her, it is, you know, I don't know, guys, but we'll make a video about her as well, and we're going to speak on her as well.
It was jobs. They moved from the city's south side, and they said, this is the place we're going to raise our kids. It's safe here, and it was affordable. They could afford to buy a house. And I think that was or is the draw for a lot of African Americans who want to leave the city and head to the suburbs.
How many years have you lived here?
35 years.
34 years as a resident of Dolton. 25. It's been a good 25-year run? Yeah, for the most part, up until maybe the last couple of years.
What brought you to Dolton?
A combination of things. We had just gotten married. My wife and I just gotten married. We were looking.
This guy here, Mr. Dan Lee, is what I'm talking about, guys. How many times have you seen this man's face on your TV set or your Facebook feed, YouTube, whatever you're watching, right? Miss Hinyard. You're constantly seeing the same guy. We're getting interviews of the same people, as I just said, which is disgusting to me. I thought that Miss Regina would have done much better than this as far as the interviews. I just think she was just lazy with it. She didn't put in no effort, no work. And for Channel 5 to even give her any kind of hand or hooray for this is just sickening to me. Due to the fact that here it is, a black woman that look exactly like you, Ms. Waldroup, and you would take time out of your life to do the same thing that everyone else is doing, throwing rocks at this woman, and she's not throwing any rocks back at you, I've seen, you know, and you got a lot of things going on your end from Harvey, okay? And that's another video, guys, but right now we're going to stick to Ms. Hinyard right now and some of the things everyone's doing to her due to the fact if she's wrong or not. I'm not going to jump on that same bandwagon and sit here and say, I hate her, and she's this, she's that, she's the worstest thing in the world. I can't see that. Seeing as how most mayors in her position will take millions upon millions of dollars and put it in their back pocket, taking up city contracts and other things, guys, and I've yet to see that with her. I'm seeing different things like buying a little crap online and jumping things maybe on Amazon. She's buying different things probably for the kids for all these little functions she's putting together maybe with these purchases on Amazon, which for a few thousand, 40, 30,000. Seems like a lot to you. Not a lot, guys, when you're looking at the budget. When you're looking at a budget of these little small towns and different things that they blowing money on, you 9 times out of 10 are not going to see that money or know where it's going because they're going to be fixing streets, you know, different little projects they're going to keep pulling out there. But as you know, most mayors do, and you're not going to never know where your tax dollars is going in most of these little small towns. So for Ms. Henry to be in this position the past, 3-4 years, I've yet to see any other mayor before her to do the things she's done. She's basically topped all of those guys put together, as far as putting community events together, helping the old folks, taking them out their home to stretch their legs and go to, you know, the library. They got different events for them there where they're doing exercise classes, and they were doing, remember they had the pool classes and different things for those people. And not only that, she was going back cutting these folks' grass, their trees, basically just going by the house doing things that their children or grandchildren wouldn't do. And for that alone, she has, I would say, 80 or 90% of the vote of the elders in Dolton alone. But this is things they're not telling you. If you go around Dolton and knock on doors, 90% of the elders say they are voting for Tiffany. This is why they took her off the ballot and did the caucus thing over there in Thornton Township, okay? Because they know that she has the support of most of these people, but none of these people are internet savvy. They're not on the internet. They're not speaking up for her. They're not trying to be ridiculed and attacked. You understand? Pay attention. But I'm going to tell y'all something different that these folks not telling y'all. So let's get back to it.
Beautiful house. This house kind of especially spoke to my wife Camille. She really loved it. When we first moved here, we used to be able to walk all around here and ride our bicycles on the, over by the schools and the parks and whatnot.
Dolton was really nice. It was still clean, a nice, safe area at the time when I moved there.
But here's the problem with Dolton and some of the neighboring communities around it. They're underserved, and there are a lack of jobs and a lack of industry. So you have a lot of people moving these communities for safety.
Let's pause right here, guys. This is right here where all the action be from the internet and all that stuff, guys. The media is usually set up here. This is Dolton Food and Liquor. It's been here over 30 years, which is now you can see the roof is caved in. It's no longer here. It's vacant, rather. And Miss Henry's office is over here, which is where all the action is when you guys send all the people acting a fool on the internet. All that is right in this building right here on Chicago Road. Used to be Chicago Road. It's now Martin Luther King Drive. It's been changed a few years back, but previously known as Chicago Road. And with that being said, guys, the Vegas trip was supposed to bring in more businesses and different venues to the city of Dolton. Okay, and somebody in there, I don't want to say who, but the word around town, we'll get into that in another video. Somebody decided to throw a wrench in that and send this girl. Well, this girl decided to go on the trip, I guess. Somehow, some way, she begged her way on the trip for her birthday and caused a bunch of chaos. To where now we're looking at this rape thing and all this other stuff, guys. Like I say, this is just for another video, guys. I have a lot to say and a lot to speak on about all the politics of Dolton right now, guys. It's really driving me and a few other people through the roof. Because you got all these people coming in from out of town. Jeremiah, this is another guy. He comes around. He's a media person. He just wants attention. He comes around. He done got ran out of Dolton before from some younger guys from talking crazy at the store to someone. That's another video as well. You got people like him coming around just yelling and acting a fool. This guy, Andrew Holmes. By the way, I'm not fond of this guy at all. That's another story. Andrew Holmes, but right is right, wrong is wrong. He has yet to be found guilty of anything by Vegas PD at all. But yet he's lost his job. He's lost a 30-year career he's built, helping people in and around the city of Chicago, victims and all type of stuff like that, guys. And you would think by now it's like a 2-year thing now with this girl, Vanita Dukes or whatever her name is. And you've yet to have another victim pop up from Chicago. He's been around hundreds of vulnerable mothers crying, and he's helping them, going to their houses, dropping them off gift cards, food, you name it, helping them with different expenses. And none of these people that came out yet, as they do any other predator, and say, hey, he's done this to me as well. It makes no sense, guys. That's a whole nother subject and another topic, but we're going to get into that a little later in the video because she's discussing that in this video as well. But as you can see in the title, the video should have been kept at Miss Supermare and nothing to do with Mr. Andrew Holmes. She just tried to hype the video up a little bit, guys. Like I said, it's disgusting, guys. The whole video is disgusting. It's the same crap we've been getting for the past few years, guys, about Miss Henry and Miss Andrew Holmes, and they're trying to do a thing now where they're trying to sue again. Vanita Dukes already tried to sue, guys, for a trip she was never supposed to be on in the first place. But let's keep going, guys. You're going to get something different from me.
For these resources that just aren't there.
Somehow some bullets did find their way into our house. I'm not in, but around our house.
Your house was shot up?
Yeah, there's some bullets were up there. That bullet told us that was from the dope dealers, I'm pretty sure. My wife, she heard it. I was asleep.
But yet you stayed.
Yeah. I'm not running.
You're proud of your house. It's a very lovely home. You're proud of this place?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the projects. I grew up in Robert Taylor homes. So this is utopia for me.
Dolton has been in the news a lot lately, but I want to take you back to 2021.
Hi, I am Tiffany Henry, and I am running for mayor of Dolton.
She was a Dolton trustee. She grew up in the area, went to Thornridge High School. People thought she was the change this community needed.
She wanted to bring back unity in the community. So she wanted to make sure that she bridged the gap. She did a lot of knocking on doors, did a lot of trying to, talk to people, making those connections with people, just trying to make sure that she is the people's mayor. She did that.
She even went around to residents who had some issues with her. And, I know a couple of people who were like, I don't know. But she, assured people that she would work with her team.
I figured some young people needed to get in there and get their feet wet with the politics of everything.
But as a trustee, she butted heads a lot with the administration.
They're not on the agenda.
I
We're
know
going to go
that.
forward.
I see
We're
that.
going to go forward with today's
But
agenda.
I'm asking you that so that I have clarity for next time when I have agenda item.
And she would bait the last mayor into an argument. Then they would go back and forth, and she would just blow stuff out of proportion.
I was asking
Next
the
thing
attorney
on the
why wasn't
agenda-
my items on the agenda.
Next
so
thing
I'll
on
have
the
that
agenda
issue
is
later.
citizens' address.
So whether you were Team Tiffany or not, pretty much everyone can agree that she was something different for this community.
She gave up.
Pause. Now, right there speaks volumes, guys. You basically just seen exactly what I said before. We're getting the same crap all over again, guys. Same interviews, same people. Look at this lady here. This is the wig lady. No disrespect to her, but this is the woman, the cancer lady. No disrespect to you, ma'am, anything like that. Sorry for anything you got going on, but she's the one showing up to a lot of meetings as well, talking about this wig situation. Then you got the older guy. He's showing up as well, saying the same thing over and over again, guys. They're basically supporters of Belcher and House. They're trustees of Dolton. And House, actually, a lot of things went bad with Miss Henry and House and the other girl, Belcher, due to the fact that Miss Henry ended up with both positions, which was supervisor and mayor, and they thought that she should pass the mayor torch over the House, and they didn't do that. And that's why a lot of things went wrong with this whole administration, guys, and they split just off of that alone, because Miss Henry took both positions and Miss Belcher took it personally. That's another video, guys, and she went around town basically turning a few of the residents and a few people and media and whoever else would listen against Miss Henry about this $10,000 donation thing into the charity, which she helped vote into the charity, I guess. I don't know, guys. It's all over the place. I'm not going to put it all in this one video. But back to what was just said with this guy. He said his house was shot up a few years back. That was before Miss Henry was even in office. The gangbangers and different people like that that's coming in, that new people coming in from Chicago, because you got different landlords just trying to get Section 8 rentals done, and that has nothing to do with the mayor, especially not Miss Henry. The guy before Miss Henry, who, as you can see, guys, they tried to say was baiting her into, she's supposed to be baiting him into an argument. That's the mayor before her. If anybody know anything was going on with that situation, guys, and for him to even make that statement, what are you guys doing right now to Miss Henry? Y'all baiting her into what? Arguments and all this foolishness every day on the news that is not getting any of the Dolton business done for the residents. It don't help the residents. It's not doing anything for nobody that lives in Dolton that's paying taxes. None whatsoever. It's just a bunch of chaos. It's all over the news. It is just terrible. The worstest thing we can see and do as black people to one another. And it's happening every day, guys. These people wake up and live Miss Henry. You got over 25, I repeat, 25 YouTubers that dedicate their life, and some even created their YouTube just to bash Miss Henry. Wow. I cannot believe this, guys. Check it out yourself. It's not made up. This is a true number. At least 20 to 25 people, guys, dedicate themselves specifically to bash this woman, and she's black. Never been charged with anything. I don't care what they say she did. She could have killed 10 people, guys. She has not been charged with anything. She could have been accused of killing 10 people. I'm sorry. Let's recount that statement. But if you have not been charged with anything you've been accused of, aren't you innocent until proven guilty at some point? When do these people know that or see that? Are they all fools at some point? They make us look foolish as people. You got the white people just laughing at us. Every other race laughing at us. It's terrible. You know how I know? Because I live around white folks. You get it? I live around white folks. And they're tired of seeing our own people bashing her. Get it? It's ridiculous. And we should be tired of it as well as black people. Because like I said, we are our own worst enemy, and we're always bashing each other, whereas it's our own celebrities, public figures. It don't matter, guys. If you go up and down anybody's African-American, YouTube, Facebook, they're all just bashing our own race. They're not talking about the other race. They care less about the other race. But when you go, I don't get it, guys. But let's pay attention.
Hope and belief that she was the person that was going to come in and basically help Dolton. And we believed it. We believed it. We really sold into her vision.
At the time, I think she believed in her vision. I mean, because when she was breaking down what she wanted to do, she showed me this big calendar of events that she wanted to give back. She wanted to give away gas to residents, all of that. So I was under the impression like, okay, I think this young girl is onto something. She had a lot of energy, I tell you that.
Fake. If this ain't the fakest statement someone can make, ma'am, you so full of crap. Now let's go back to everything, guys. Now let's go back to her arguing back and forth with the mayor. She was the only person that would even approach him, even question the things that he was doing. And that's why she was so outspoken. That's why everybody supported her. They were scared to be outspoken. She was the only trustee showing up to every crime in Dolton. Everything that was on the news. If you go back before Miss Hilliard was the mayor of Dolton, you had every crime or anything, any chaotic situation that happened in Dolton. She was there. She was vlogging it herself on her cell phone, or for her Facebook or whatever she was doing. Maybe to gain supporters for her to run for mayor, whatever it was, she was doing this years ago. She was the only trustee that cared enough to do any of that for the people, and everybody loved her for that. Doing this as a trustee. She was the only one running up behind Louis Lacey and the other cops if they did anything wrong to any of the residents, and didn't care how they felt about it. And then now she turned around when she was the mayor and then had him as her top cop, because she know he's very well respected in the streets of Dolton and the surrounding little suburbs and different things of that nature, as far as with these younger guys and the drug dealers, as the older guys say, and these guys doing the shootings and different things of that. A lot of those guys respect Lacey, and for them to let him go, they just screwed Dolton in a lot of ways they don't even understand. Like, most of those guys respected him as the reason why the crime ain't as out of control as a place like Harvey, where Miss Regina Waldroup is from. People like him, who's been in position for 30 years over there in Dolton, is what kept the crime from getting so outrageous as a place like over there in Harvey. And that's a fact. And we're going to talk to some resident guys, and we're going to fact check a lot of these things I'm saying. Believe me. Let's get it going, though. And for her to make this statement, say the reason why they was backing her, they thought she believed it, and they believed it. They knew who she was. They knew what was going on, guys. A lot of these people split with this administration due to the fact of Belcher. Belcher holds weight in Dolton around some of these political figures. Her name holds weight, and she's more liked due to the fact she's more their age and older. Tiffany is a younger person. Like I say, she always stood out, did her own thing. She's never been in a group thing. Like, she never went with the crowd. She always went with her own ideas and did her own thing. And that's where everybody was like, we're going to back this young girl. She's very creative and charismatic. She was everything they wanted to see that was new and different. And then she started helping the seniors and bringing them out their home and doing things their family members wouldn't do. Like I say, cutting their yard and cutting trees and different things like that, guys. So we're going to cut this video a little short. We ain't going to keep it too long, guys, because like I say, it's a bunch of the same crap over and over again. But I do want to address some of the things that she's saying and these people are saying in these interviews, guys. This is the first video on this channel, so it is all over the place, guys. But believe me, we're going to get it together.
And I wanted to make sure that the vision that she had come to fruition because Dolton deserved it. That's one thing we deserved.
She put together what she called her dream team. Now, on this team, you have trustee Jason House, trustee Kiana Belcher, and the village clerk, Allison Key. All these people are on the same ticket, so they all believed in Tiffany. And
I like how Miss Regina Waldroup is so happy and so, she seems like she's just so happy to do this and just bash this woman. Are you proud of yourself? Because you are, you look just like her. Literally, you wear makeup like she do. You wear the extensions and everything like she does. Just like most black women try to change your appearance, make yourself look different or whatever. You do it for it. But you're not, that's not the natural you. You don't like the natural you. And I'm going to make a video about this woman and her life and the things she had going on and different things she had to deal with just to be a journalist, guys. She dealt with a lot of crap from her white co-workers and different things like that. She dealt with so much, and she was bashed so much for being a black woman, and for her to turn around and bash this black woman and do her the same way she was done on the come up in her in her little career is wrong. You're very wrong for that, Regina. And for you to come from almost, as you say, the neighboring town over, and you grew up something like her, you didn't. Because Harvey is nothing like Dolton. Dolton has way more class, especially back then, than Harvey ever had. Most parents over and who moved over in Harvey and different things like that was coming from the city. And most, we'll get into that. But we're going to make a video about this woman along in her life, her parents, and how she grew up with 8 siblings or something like that, guys. Let's get into it.
what she wanted to accomplish.
We had tremendous hope. Tremendous hope. The fight for people was what was being sold. And you see that level of energy and passion, and you think, okay, this person has to be for the community.
I believed in this person. I ran on her ticket. She lets everybody know.
This is the reason why we have all this media attention, and this is why we have this big old chaotic thing we're dealing with right now today in these past few years. Right here, Miss Kiana Belcher, Dolton trustee. How you doing, love? Appreciate you. She's a very good woman, very educated, very smart. But a black woman mad is what this is what this proves right here. Miss Kiana Belcher went around Dolton telling any and everybody in the Thornton Township area and Dolton area in general, Chicagoland, and just a whole, that will listen. We need to get her up out of there. We need to do a recall, get out the way. All over the fact that Miss Henry took both positions of being supervisor and mayor, they thought it was a conflict of interest and she should step down, which she did not want to do. She felt she can hold both positions and doing well, which she was trying to do. And before she can even kickstart her career as being a mayor or even a supervisor, the thing started with the $10,000 that went into this charity thing. And from there, at the Vegas trip, they asked her who paid for it, this, that, and the other. At the end of the day, I believe Miss Henry did not tell the truth about who paid for it when she was asked about it in an interview, news interview. Originally, she didn't tell the truth, but if she was thinking about it, I'm gonna back that up a little bit. That and this, the thing with Belcher started with the $10,000. Belcher went around and told everyone that she took the $10,000 into the account or whatever for the breast cancer thing, which she helped put into that organization. Belcher did, as well as House. But when Miss Henry didn't do what they wanted her to do, which is step down from being the mayor of Dolton and hand that over to either her or House for one of them to be the mayor of Dolton, they took that very personal. House would have go with the flow more so than Belcher. Belcher is, he's following her. Belcher was like, no, not going to happen on my watch. We're going to call for a recall. And as you guys know, only 3,000 and maybe 700 to 800 residents participated in the recall. And the numbers were very close, which they won in a recall to get a recall, but it was something in the paperwork that wasn't worded right, and that got thrown out. But if you notice, none of the residents went to revote for the recall because none of them never thought that she would get kicked out for the recall or anything like that. They just knew that she would win because most of them already went out and voted. Most of these people are elders. They can barely get out the house as it is, and and different things of that nature. So a lot of people did not participate in the recall. But out of 20,000 or so, 22,000 residents, like I said, it was under 4,000 that participated. But let's keep going, guys.
No, I was personally reluctant to do it, but I wanted to see our community get better. So I agreed to run on this ticket because I knew Jason, I knew Kiana. These were great people. And I said, if they're on this team, then I can get on this team.
So she wins the Democratic nomination. Fast forward to April 2021, she becomes elected mayor of the village of Dolton. She's the youngest mayor at the age of 37. She's also the first Black female mayor.
Once she became the people's mayor.
Is that what hurt your feelings? She's the first Black young female mayor or something? Because I'm trying to figure out what provoked you to make this video. Was it the people over there at your station? You from the neighboring town. You should be able to go get some interviews out there on the ground. Go some interviews for us out there on the ground and turn this up a notch for us. She didn't do that. She failed you guys very miserably with this video with these same people doing these interviews that's been on your camera for the past 3 years, guys. I'm sorry. She failed. I'm so disappointed in this woman. We could have got something so much better with some residents that's not biased. I'd rather have someone that's not biased. Free-thinking residents. She could have got someone that don't even vote. There's plenty of people, residents that don't vote, young people in Dolton that do not vote. Could have asked them do some interviews with some of them and get their understanding what they think about what's going on in their city and their town. And see how they felt about it and why they don't vote for either side. You know what I mean? Why they don't vote at all and different things of that nature, which I'm going to bring to you guys. This is a bunch of crap. This is ridiculous, guys.
She didn't do what she promised.
After I went to a few meetings, I saw, oh boy, did we ever screw up.
Did we ever screw up? I gotta laugh at that, guys.
So a lot of
Send this out. This is the best mayor these guys ever had, guys. Like, I can't make this up, and you can fact check me on this. Y'all say she's the worstest mayor in America. I say she's the best mayor that Dolton ever had. I'm biased to this situation, guys. I'm not on either side of this. I'm speaking facts. Do your own research, your own homework. Forget what the media has been telling you the past few years. Go back 10 years, 15, 20 years, 30 years in Dolton history. For the Miss Regina, you're from the area. Why you couldn't go back that far and understand that this woman is nowhere near that, and you know that. Because we had people, I'm not going to say, a mayor before her that would sleep in the bars all night when have security 24/7, just like she had security 24/7. But would follow them into a bar, a local bar, and drink with, not drink with the mayor. They wouldn't be seen drinking with the mayor, not the officers, but the mayor would be getting scummy drunk until he pass out with officers on the clock all hours of the night. This is 7 days a week. And this particular mayor even had a tip jar for himself, for all the patrons to tip his tip jar so he can drink for free. You get it? This is stuff they're not speaking about. And before her, I don't see where none of the tax dollars for Dolton was going before Ms. Henry. At least they've been having events for the kids, events for the old folks, free food. Not free food. Of course, their taxpayers are probably paying for it or whatever's going on with that. But they've been getting food for every holiday. For Thanksgiving 2024, it was maybe, I want to say, over 100,000 residents of Thornton Township showed up to get a box for Thanksgiving, and it was either completed with a turkey or ham with all the fixings on the side to make pies and anything you need on the side, as far as potato salad, you name it, guys, sweet potatoes, whatever you need for the whole meal, it was in a box. Every angle of Dolton was covered with lines wrapped around each corner from Chicago Road, which is Martin Luther King now, all the way to 144th and Greenwood, from 142nd in Greenwood, 143rd in Greenwood, all the way up to Greenwood and Melanie's, which is where it was giving away the turkeys and everything. Wrapped around from Sibley and Irvin to Greenwood, wrapped around there. Even had Sibley to Greenwood coming around, guys. It was residents all over, even Chicago residents showing up for meals, guys. Miss Henry gladly fed all these people. And some of them was even critics. They all was there. And you know what's so crazy to me, guys? It was more critics there than you can imagine. It was so many people that report on Miss Henry. So many people that that's dropping videos every day that's negative about this woman. Not one of them put the video out from that day. Not one of these people put out the outcome of how many people showed up. Not one of these people put out how much food she gave away. Now, none of these people tell you how they went and got in line and got food themselves that don't like her, disagree with her politics or whatever. They even got free food from her. Not free food, but boxes from her. Holiday boxes or whatever to feed their family and different things just to see what was in the box even, or whatever they did with it. I don't know. But this is things they're not showing. But it's over 100 people here with cameras and cell phones every time I'm here. I'm at these places, guys. I'm at the meetings. I'm there getting a free box. I got a free box for Thanksgiving. Thank you, Miss Mayor Henry. Yeah, I was very thankful for the box. It was cold outside, and I got me a free box, guys. And she stood out there for all of 6 hours passing out food in boxes, guys. And you know she don't dress too warm. She's always in very thin clothing, and she might have some earmuffs or a hat on or something like that. And she was out there smiling the whole entire time, guys. And this woman is always smiling. I don't care what they say about her, what they do to this woman. She's trying to do her job. She's smiling. She's doing this, that, and the other. By now, most people are either broken, snapped by now. It's just so much coming at this woman, guys, from so many different angles. It's people at her home, her mother's home. She's supposed to be getting put out of her home, getting evicted. It's different things surrounding this woman, guys. And she got to be one of the strongest people I've ever seen in my life, guys. Seeing as how she is still standing 10 toes, getting up every day. She's getting dressed every day. And she's still coming out and dealing with it. I just can't believe it, guys. And for us as a race to keep jumping on this woman back like we is, guys, it makes no sense, seeing as how she has yet to be charged with anything.
People accuse Tiffany of misusing village funds.
Accused.
And it really...
Big word. The whole video is all accused, and maybe it happened. Did it happen? We don't know yet, and it's been going on for years, guys. Why are we still talking about this? At this point, we should be going to the polls, voting, doing these things to get this woman out of position. If don't nobody like her like that, we shouldn't be pulling off caucuses to get her out the way. And why did this guy do that, Napoleon? Why did he need a caucus to take her position? He has no one to run against him. I mean, come on, guys. You guys don't see what's going on. If everyone hated this woman like they say she does, like they do, all the residents of Thornton Township, why do they need to pull a caucus? You don't need to. She's going to get voted out, right? Pay attention, guys. This is something that they're not telling you. Ms. Henry's supporters are most likely afraid to speak up. Most of these people, due to the media, they're going to get attacked by most people because it's a lot of sensitive subjects surrounding Ms. Henry, like the rape thing with this thing in Vegas, and then a young woman that was also killed at the Baba's restaurant, the drive-thru. It's a lot, sensitive subjects surrounding her. So if you support her, it's like you support rape, you support the death of this young woman and different things of that nature, where it should not be like that. No, it's not what it is. Just because I don't feel the way you feel, or I have a different opinion than you, that don't mean that I support this or I support that. You're not going to put that on me because I have a different opinion than you. And that's the problem with us as people today. We don't have our own mind and way of thinking. We all going off what's being said on social media and the internet, because no one is smart enough to pick up a book. Everyone is too lazy to read themselves. Everyone is too lazy to find out their own information. They just go off of what's said. And it's sad. And that's why a lot of these young people is running around here shooting and killing one another because of what someone said over the internet. Because when somebody said on Facebook, Instagram, social media posts, it don't make no sense. And for these grown people to do the same thing, they're going to learn. They're not learning anything but drama and silliness. It's a bunch of fools, old fools, teaching young fools how to act a fool. Does that make sense to anyone? Don't to me. But this is the life we live today in society. Before the internet, we would have maybe half of the crime we see today with these young people, because young people have to actually go outside, play sports, interact with other kids to even have the problem with other kids. These kids now are having problems with kids all around the world, people they don't never met before, people down the street. Then they expect to go outside and walk and go to this grocery store and buy a snack or something like that without getting shot. You done disrespected someone's loved one that's not here anymore and did all this stuff in a song, and then you're going to walk down the street in Chicago? Don't make sense, guys. This is what we have to deal with as parents nowadays. The social media, and then we got other grown fools that's out here doing this type of stuff. It don't make sense, guys.
We started the day she was sworn into office.
Good evening. Good evening, and welcome to the swearing in of the Honorable Tiffany Henyard, the first female and the youngest mayor of Dolton.
The village paid for it, up to $20,000.
You know, Dolton is not Chicago. This is a small community. Was this a needed expense?
And I will faithfully discharge the duty.
Pause. 20 grand, guys. This is an alleyway at Dolton Park, public park. Who they pay 20 grand? This lady right here to come raise her hand. I'm trying to see where the 20 grand go. I don't know how true that is, guys, but it's ridiculous for them to state that.
Duties of the office. The duties of the office of mayor. Of mayor.
The minute the inauguration took place, it was obvious that ordinances were not going to be followed. And then the bills started coming in at the very first meetings. And they were like, well, you're not allowed to spend this, and nobody has approved this.
As you go down Sibley and you see those banners plastered all down Sibley, and we haven't even paid for them. Who in their right mind? If you go to other towns, you might see billboards and banners, but it's of heroes and things like that in the village. It's not everywhere you go you see the mayor. It doesn't matter where you go.
Do you know why that is, guys? And I've yet to hear anyone make this remark. She's basically putting it in their face. I'm going to be here. I ain't going nowhere. I'm still helping the residents of Dolton. I'm still helping the seniors. If y'all want me out of here, you're going to have to get me voted out of here. She's been putting it in their face. And regardless if you guys, they don't want to sign off on anything as well, whether if it's on Tiffany's end or it's on the trustees' end. Nobody's saying eye-to-eye, bills are not getting paid. This is why they're in debt. If you're not paying bills, guys, you're going to be in debt. If they was all saying eye-to-eye, bills would have been paid, wouldn't be no debt. Everything would be running smoothly, which is not the case here in Dolton. But this is what we get. Ms. Henyard figures, like I said, everyone who was on her ticket turned against her, split and went the other way. Now, if you notice, the one guy didn't leave until he caught some things with some taxes or whatever happened with him. And then he went over there on their side or whatever was going on because he got in trouble. He went over to that side and ran over there with the trustees, and now he turned against Miss Henyard. Before that, he was still over there until the cops got a hold of him. The FBI got a hold of him and found out what he had going on. Lieutenant Lacey, Captain Lacey, whatever, he had a lot going on. But he's supposed to have been hiding money and different things of that nature. Yet, nobody besides those two guys have been charged or even really looked at anything harder than Miss Henyard and this rape thing and Andrew Holmes. You know what I mean? It don't make sense. It's like, why are y'all so focused on this rape thing with Andrew Holmes? Because this Dukes lady, Vanilla Dukes or whatever her name is, who wasn't supposed to go on the trip in the first place? Don't make sense.
Her picture is plastered all over the village of Dolton. That's outrageous. And that's money being spent recklessly. Once again, we're paying for that.
Jason House and I had a conversation once, and Jason's remark was, well, I talked to her, let's give her a chance.
I,
State your name.
Jason House,
having been duly elected to the office of trustee.
Having been duly elected to the office of trustee. I was on that ticket. I was asked many.
So what did he have to pay? Why he go? He had to pay 20 grand too to come raise his hand too? Because I'm trying to see here. They say she made that expense to pay 20 grand for everybody to raise their hand at the public park. Yeah, I'm going to get some stopping in this video for me because I'm tired of seeing the crap. You don't know, we done all seen this crap. So I'm going to keep pausing and stopping the video and make a comment. Because like I said, I'm going to give you the real. I'm going to give you what's really going on, guys. These folks is playing with y'all, man. They giving y'all nothing but garbage, man. For real, for real.
Many times to run for mayor, but at that time I elected against running for mayor. My decision of who I supported for mayor, I greatly regret. And I'm here to give my support and endorsement for trust.
Because you was scared to run for mayor. Tell it like it is. He didn't want that on his back. He don't think he can be mayor of a small town like Dolton. He can't think for himself. He got people like Belcher and stuff like that on his back. So they're going to control him and different things of that nature. He didn't have no choice but to support someone else. He was probably a good candidate, but he's scared to run. But like I say, once Ms. Henry got the supervisor position, Belcher say, well, you need to take the mayor's position, and then I need to take it. She needs to step down. It's a conflict of interest for her to be the supervisor and the mayor. But legally, it was not. That's why she kept both positions. And this is why they worried about, they trying to do every day. This is why they constantly trying to throw rocks at her and different things to hope that they cannot get her in these two positions all over again, because them doing this for 2 terms don't make sense. Without no charges, it won't make sense. It's not going to last much longer than that. This woman done went through a whole term and ain't been charged with nothing. Obviously, I'm thinking some of this stuff ain't going to come out to be as true as you guys think it is.
Tiffany Henyard, I bought into it hook, line, and sinker 100%. I thought that, okay, if you're saying talk to your board, work with your board, we're going to make sure all of this happens. And to see that it was live.
We were all very excited. So we were thinking that this is going to be the youngest board in the history of Dolton to make great changes. And we were excited. And then we realized that she had other things in mind. What happened though? What was that pivotal moment? When we went as trustees, when we went to add items to the agenda, and they completely ignored us and didn't add.
They didn't, because you guys were going around Miss Henry's back talking about her like a dog, you and Miss Belcher. Starting mess with everybody and doing all that. That's why. That was her way of letting you guys know, I know what y'all doing, because everyone was running around telling her what you guys were doing. The whole city's talking about it, you know what I'm saying? Everyone knew what was going on with Belcher running around telling all this stuff about Miss Henry, and that's why Belcher's picture ended up off the wall, guys. Because Miss Henry is hearing everything she's telling everybody and going against her, and that's when everything split with them, guys. Just think about what I'm saying, and it make more sense than what they're saying. Way more sense than what they're giving you. They're not giving you nothing. But people yelling at the microphone and yelling at the camera every day about Miss Henry. That's all they doing. And is any of it true yet? I ain't seen nothing true. So who sound like they more believable? Me or these people that keep making all these crazy videos over and over again saying the same stuff? You finna get something totally different from me. You're not going to get this same crap, but we're going to skim through this crap. We ain't even went 11 minutes into this video, guys, and I done see it.
Items to the agenda, and when we asked why they wouldn't add them, they just ignored us. So wouldn't provide us with any explanation.
Why my minutes are not being put on this agenda to be approved, I do not understand.
We have a new clerk for the Village of Dolton, Miss Allison Key.
I've been a clerk for the past 3.5 years.
Describe those 3.5 years under this current administration. What's it been like for you?
Well, coming out the gate, I saw issues. And I tried to address them with the mayor, but she wasn't.
To know what it is. I waited a couple of days, asked the employee, and the employee's like, oh yeah, and you're not able to do your job. So my picture is not on the wall because I put her on blast. And when we came back from over the holiday, I'm sitting in the board meeting, look up, and I'm like, oh, my picture's not on the wall. I asked about the picture. Nobody seems to know what it is. I waited a couple of days. And the employee's like, oh yeah, they took it down. And every time she walked past, she kick at it. Disrespect, absolutely. But as long as I'm an elected official, I should have my picture on the wall like everyone else. So now I bring my picture to the board meeting.
And this is exactly what I was saying, guys. Exactly what I said. She said, because I'm the one who put her on blast. Now, this is probably the most important meeting of Belcher's little rant about Miss Hilliard. And this is what she give us, is I put her on blast about what? What was you running around saying, Miss Belcher? Because I think the people deserve a little more than that for this interview. It's like you basically giving them the same thing you done gave for the past few years. That's what I'm saying, guys. Why did we even waste our lives watching this for 51 minutes? I'm tired of it, but let's go. We're going to skip to this Vegas thing because I think we should speak on that. Hold on. What is this?
Wanted to talk about during the meeting, that will be the time. She changed it from citizens address to public comment, and public comment is a little different. You just make a statement and no questions are answered, no back and forth or any of that.
There's been no work done. You haven't been over on our block. The street is split. There's water. People had floods in their basements, coming in their backyard, into their house. You've done nothing. You don't care about nobody but yourself.
And they do it at the beginning of the meeting now, so she can get it over with. And then people, have to listen to her speeches and all of that good stuff. So what she does during public comment is she'll just put her head down and she won't listen to anything. She won't acknowledge anything. I've seen mothers of murdered children and people who've lost family members in Dolton. She'll put her head down and she
Pause. Right there, guys, is where I have a problem with. She said mothers of murdered children. That's one mother been showing up to the meeting of that one child that's been murdered. And that woman wasn't even a child, first off. That was a grown woman who had been drinking and had an issue with Dolton police at the restaurant in the middle of wee hours of the night, maybe 2-3 in the morning a.m. and had a problem with the police and lost her life. I don't consider that being a child, and then it's one mother has been coming into these same meetings. No disrespect to her, and condolences to her and her family. But for them to lie like that, like it's multiple people coming up there and got problems with her about their children, it's not true. And let's keep it going.
Acknowledge that the person is there.
Oh, okay. That's what I forgot. It's my first video, guys, on this channel. You got to bear with me. Everything ain't going to be too perfect right now, but that's what I forgot to say as well. Of course, she had changed the meeting rules where you come in and everyone speak first because it was so many disruptions during the meeting, guys. They cannot get business done because as you can see, it's nothing but foolishness over and over again constantly being said at these meetings, and it's getting to be ridiculous. So Ms. Hilliard, she said she would put her head down and not respond because she's tired of hitting the same thing at every meeting. Who would keep responding to the same questions in every meeting? It's the same thing about the wigs. It's the same thing about what you do in Vegas. Same thing about Andrew Holmes. There's nothing that's been proved to be, you know what I'm saying, guilty of anything of that. Why would I keep addressing this? You fools coming up here just want media attention, want to make videos, and like Jeremiah, he want to try to take a stance, want to fight Andrew Holmes at a meeting because he want media attention. He's not helping nobody but himself. Like, make sense of it. You up here acting a fool. Go do that with these white folks. They'll lock your butt up. Believe me, you're doing too much, my friend. Don't do that. Come on, man, don't do that, though. Like, he's doing way too much, and he ain't even from here, bro. Like, move around with that noise for real, dude. You doing way too much, dude. Like, he's another clown that's coming around here just jumping in meetings, yelling. It's like it's a bunch of fools at these meetings, and they're doing it over and over again. And then that's why she made it where she didn't have to address people, back and forth, because now it becomes an argument with the residents. Who wants to keep arguing with the residents? Just look, I want to hear your problems, and I want to hear what you guys got going on. If it's anything that makes any sense to help any of you guys, I'm going to try to do that or fix it. Why would I want to hear something about what's going on social media? Most of these people are jumping in front of this microphone yelling out, Tahoe Tiff or what they call her, the super mayor, and all this old crazy stuff on the microphone and Tahoe Tiff every day. Like, don't nobody want to hear that or respond to that as a politician. She's coming to work every day, guys, and I'm sure none of these people want this woman showing up to their job, harassing them every day, doing the same thing. They will probably press charges on her for harassment. And it's ridiculous that they're constantly harassing this black woman that looks like them. Makes no sense at all to me. We're going to skip through some of this crap, guys, and get this video over with.
She doesn't like what they're saying. So after a few months of this, you have residents, you have trustees, you even have the village clerk. They are raising red flags, but now they want to take action.
I'm an attorney, long time.
How many years?
I'm tired of her smiling every time she talks. Like, it's pissing me off a little bit because it's like she's so happy to do this to this black woman that looks like her, and it's ridiculous to me. Like, for real, Miss Regina, you're wrong for that. And this is where I want to get to what happened in Vegas.
Yeah, no.
After she won that recall, she felt emboldened, she felt untouchable.
And I just want people to understand, I'm happy. Leave me alone, because I am.
I watched her turn into a monster.
Nothing y'all could do about everything y'all try to do to me. Guess what? Fail.
After she won the recall, she put a sign around town saying, "I'm your forever mayor," which pissed a lot of people off. And after that, it was all downhill.
It was all downhill. It was all downhill when Belcher got upset and all you fools started following her.
You need to address what happened in Vegas, and you have been silent. And that's not going to fly. You know what happened in Vegas.
What happened in
You know
Vegas?
what happened.
A lot of people ask me about Las Vegas. Let me take you back to May 2023. Tiffany Henyard takes a group of 13 people on a trip to Vegas for an economic development conference. Among the people on that trip, her assistant, Fania Dukes. One night, Fania goes out to have drinks with a village official, and that's when things take a turn.
We're in the most dangerous areas at the most dangerous time at night.
You know, if there's a crime scene in Chicago on the west side, south sides, if there's someone grieving, hurting from a shooting,
We are just concerned about the child right about now.
Andrew Holmes is the person who was always there. He's standing there with grieving families. He's holding their hands. He's walking them through the process as they try to talk to media and find out who did this to their loved ones. He was always there. And he also happens to be an elected trustee in the village of Dolton. And according to Fania Dukes, who was the mayor's former assistant, Andrew Holmes assaulted her on that trip in Vegas.
I deemed him the Uncle Drew. Like, I gave him the name, and it went all the way down to the mayor calling him Uncle Drew just regularly. That was just his name, because he made everyone feel comfortable. I've even been in places by myself with him, in cars, wherever, by myself, plenty of times before ever anything. And he's never gave me an inkling of he'll harm me, he will make a pass at me. He's never done any of that. So yes, I deemed his Uncle Drew, because now I feel like if I step out of here and how I know you that you fight for these other people, these other victims and all of that, you have my back. I'm pretty sure I'm safe if I'm with you. And that was the relationship that he allowed me to take from him.
So on the last day of the conference, before everybody heads back to Dolton, there's a big dinner. And then after the dinner, Fania goes out for drinks with Andrew Holmes. What happens after that is detailed in Fania's lawsuit. It accuses Tiffany Henyard of retaliation, and it accuses Andrew Holmes of assault. Here's what the lawsuit says. She started to feel disoriented, blacks out. She woke up the next day in his hotel room. Physically, she was experiencing some discomfort, but she attributed it to her menstrual cycle. She didn't believe Trustee Holmes would have engaged in any inappropriate activity, and she never had any romantic or physical interest in Trustee Holmes. That same evening, Officer Byron Miles received a call from Andrew, who then began describing his exploits from the trip, many of a sexual nature. Officer Miles said Andrew then called him on FaceTime. He said Andrew had his shirt off and appeared to have exerted himself. Andrew then panned the camera toward a bed, and Officer Miles said he could see Fania Dukes in the frame, partially undressed. He says Andrew then moved the camera to various private areas of her body, displaying them on the screen and at times removing or moving articles of clothing. You know, Officer Miles said he couldn't even tell at that stage whether Fania had consented or not, or was even capable of doing so. So after returning to Dolton, Officer Miles then calls Fania and tells her Andrew had unprotected sex with her in Vegas. So there's a meeting the next day where Fania explains what allegedly happened with Trustee Holmes. Tiffany reportedly told Fania that if this information were to get out, she would be ruined. All that she worked for, lost.
This is why I got a problem with a lot of the stuff going on, guys, with these people. Why would anybody say this? This ruined me and all I've done to be lost. Nope, it wouldn't. Because Miss Henry, if anything, would have took your side, got him ridiculed, and that would have helped her it would have helped her better as a politician, I believe. She'd have got a lot of support from rape victims and a lot of other things. But there's no truth in it. It's not been proven to be truth, anything like that. Why would she feel that anything would be ruined on her end? It was no truth in what you said. You had no evidence on what you were saying. The Officer Byron did not have any evidence on what he was saying. Now, I noticed he said that Andrew Holmes called him and FaceTimed him. Right there alone should ring some bells for people. If me being an officer know I need evidence to prove someone has done any wrongdoing, and he called me on a smartphone at this, guys, I don't take no screen records, no screenshots of none of these things they're doing that can get them locked up right away. I'm an officer that can go put the cuffs on this person. I'm trying to put cuffs on this person if I notice he's raping, sexually assaulting a young woman. I'm trying to do that immediately. So right then and there, he said this guy was, so you telling me either Officer Miles was touching himself during the time frame of Andrew Holmes showing him this stuff, or he's lying? Because you had a few minutes, he said, Andrew Holmes was taking the camera around this woman's body. She's doing all these different things, and then he FaceTimed him while he was inserting himself in this woman, and he didn't do none of that to screenshot none of these things. And why would Mr. Holmes, as a man, call another man to show him having sex with a woman? It just don't make sense at all. And then in the same phone call, this guy holding this smartphone, which is an officer who should know you need evidence to anything you say, didn't take no evidence, but he turns around and called this young lady that don't recall what happened. It's too much inconsistency, guys. Like, now he has to call this woman and tell her you had sex. She didn't even know. Oh, I didn't even know. I had discomfort due to my menstrual, I thought. Back up. What? It's too much. Don't make sense. And then, hold on. You was on your menstrual too? So he wanted some bloody stuff too? He didn't want? That don't make sense, bro. So not only was you not even available to have sex physically due to the fact you were on your menstrual, it's just disgusting to even have sex on a menstrual, guys. The covers are white at a hotel. Like, none of these covers was bloody when she woke up to let her know that she had sex. Now, let's say her body wasn't bloody. You know, blood sticks to you. It gets all over your thighs, the private area and all that stuff. She didn't have none of that going on. You telling me this man bathed her. He took all the sheets from up under her. He turned in these sheets to the hotel staff and got new ones and laid them on the bed. He did all this before this woman woke up, guys, because if he did do any of that, then why Vegas don't have no evidence of that to lock him up? It's a bloody situation, guys. She said that she thought it was due to her menstrual. She had the discomfort because she was on her menstrual. No blood nowhere, no bloody sheets. Vegas don't have nothing. They don't have nothing that was thrown in the garbage. They didn't find nothing over there. It don't make sense. Sorry, guys. But like I was saying, it don't make sense, guys, at all. Anybody know who's been in that situation know that it is a messy situation. We all grown. We know how that goes. Not only that, Miss Dukes was not even supposed to attend this trip, guys, and she actually begged Miss Henry to attend the trip, and because it was her birthday and she never been to Las Vegas. She's the only one that was going on the trip that didn't have nothing to do with village business, guys. Miss Henry and everyone else was going to get businesses and everything else to come to the town in the city of Dolton. Not only that, she also, after dinner of the second or third night being in Vegas, the last night they were there, she also made it her business to ask Mr. Andrew Holmes to go out with her on a night of drinking and having fun on the town. And then she turns around and says he did this to her. I have a lot of problems with that, seeing as how she was never supposed to be there. 1, 2, Mr. Holmes would have had to travel with some type of roofies or some type of drugs to give this woman, either knowing she was going to be there or knowing he would be alone with her eventually, which don't make sense, seeing as how this woman randomly asked him to go out with her at the last second of the last night of them being in Vegas just so she can have fun for her birthday. So why would he plan to bring roofies or drugs, anything like that, across state lines on a plane that get him in trouble, mess his career up, because he is an activist and all these other things he's got going on that go against drugs and violence? Why would he take a chance to travel with that stuff? Just have sex with a woman in another city, in another state. He could have did that in this city, in this state, and then had a problem with taking that chance of traveling with drugs. That's first. Second, he would have had to know she was going to be there already and prepare for this stuff. He didn't know he was going to be with her alone that night. She did. She's the only one that knew. She seems to be the only one making plans, guys. I don't see this guy planning all this when he didn't know none of it was going to happen ahead of time like that. She was the only one who planned to ask to go for a birthday. She's the only one who planned to go out that night and drink, not him. So it seems like she's doing a lot of the plotting and the planning, guys. Not to speak bad on a rape victim, Miss Fannia Duke, she might be actually a rape victim. I don't necessarily know that, but I'm giving my thought on what I got from the evidence and everything that's been said these past few years, guys. It just don't add up. On my end, this is my thoughts. I have much respect for any rape victims, and like I said, if you ever been around a real rape victim or heard their story, you can basically feel what they're saying and understand where they're coming from. When this woman, I've yet to see that. It seems like she's forcing herself to drop a tear when doing these interviews. She's hoping someone believes what she's saying. It's looking like she's hoping, she's trying to cry, different things of that nature, and it just don't make sense to me, guys. And then turn around, she's trying to sue this woman again. This right now as we speak, 2025, she's trying to sue this woman all over again because she sees that it's not going anywhere with Vegas. It don't look like no charges are being filed with Vegas and none of that. And it don't look like nobody here is coming up with any evidence. Fannia Dukes don't have no evidence. Officer Miles don't have no evidence. And he had all the time in the world to have evidence. Since how he said he was on the phone FaceTime with this man for over 5-10 minutes, okay? Which is crap. As him being an officer, he'd be ashamed of himself even saying that or making that statement. If Miss Fannia Dukes supposed to never even knew, I don't know what type of cahoots they got going on, but it's just like somebody's on some bull crap. And me being someone who is not biased of a situation, you're going to hear it out for what it is, and you're going to take your own concept of it, and you're going to listen to the facts, and you're going to go and you're going to get the evidence and the judge and the jury of it, and you're going to put it all together and go from there, which, like I said, none of that has happened. He's been an activist for over 20, 30 years, guys. You never had no mother pop up and say none of these things, and they have been in way more vulnerable situations than Miss Fannia Dukes, and it's how they will use him to, not use him, but have this guy helping them with different things. He's at their homes. They're most vulnerable. They're crying and different things. I would think that if he's such a pedophile, he would take these moments to grope these women, grope them, and grab their bodies the wrong way when he's hugging them or rubbing their back. I've yet to hear this like a P. Diddy situation where everybody just pop out once one person said. Now everybody's saying it, but I do. There is another saying in the city of Chicago. Mr. Andrew Holmes supposed to have 10, 11 women at one time as far as girlfriends. Not you know, in a big group session, but he's a ladies' man himself, and they say, you know, he has women and doing these different things. Not saying that don't make him, you know, don't put him in a position to be a rapist or nothing like that, somebody who will take advantage of a woman. But it seems like he probably got his hands full already. Why am I taking chances of going to jail with roofies and all this other stuff for this one woman? Like, who is she? How is she so special? And then for her to have all these inconsistencies about her story or what's going on and how it happened, and then the officer with his non-evidence having self, it don't make sense to me, guys. Pay attention. But with that being said, this video is done. We're going to have a part 2, part 3, part 4. I don't want to make it too long. Pay attention, guys. Stay woke. Don't be like the rest of these fools running around here acting a fool. You got grown fools doing too much on this internet. And thank you, guys. Join me again. Pay attention. Hit the like, share, comment, hit that bell, because I will be giving you raw, uncut, filtered interviews and everything in between. Thanks again to Ms. Regina Waldroup. Shame on you, and to every other black human being on this internet that's going back and forth with this situation. It's been over with years ago. It's been said years ago. Say it once, say it twice. Don't need to hear it a third time, guys. Go to the polls and get rid of her that way, guys. Thank you. Good night.
Bonnie, is she